This ship redesign is incredible, and I'm loving every second of it, dude. This thing looks so good. I'm amazed right now. I'm really gonna, like, I'm seriously debating on redesigning my ship off of this platform, because it's that good. I love this thing. Fantastic job, dude. Alright, welcome back to my modular container world. I know you haven't seen it in a little bit, calm down. um, so, when I started the Europa series, I showcased the ship, the miner ship that I'm using, and I never really gave credit for it. I just kind of like told you guys about it. So that's kind of what this video is, because I found that ship redesign, and it is insane. So I'm gonna explain a little bit about this ship to you guys, if, you know, it's awesome. So again, whenever I started the series, I didn't have a miner ship ready, and I didn't really have time to make one. So I was browsing the workshop, and I seen that this was released a couple of days beforehand, and I liked it. It's awesome. It's called the HM60 Hydro Miner. Here it is. You can actually download this on the workshop. Again, it's a crazy ship. I really like it. It doesn't have any cargo again, so it's not intended for long distance mining. It's very quick patchwork and go. It does have a mothership, which is this, and this is what its intended use is for. So it launches off of the bay of the mothership right here and goes into the hole and collects the ore. It also has a gravity-assisted ore collection device on it. Both of these, insane job. I love them. They are so cool. I didn't know about the mothership whenever I downloaded this, but I'm actually kind of thinking I might try to use that too. I don't know. So, thanks for the blueprints. You know, here's your credit. You're amazing. So, with that being said, I then took it, again, into my world and added some redesigns to it. Or added some changes to it. Alright, so the redesigns that I add was I changed the lights and added a camera. Because the lights were different, and I don't know, to me that looked weird. I don't know. The next thing that I did was I added a remote block. Because it has an antenna, but not a remote block. I don't know about you, but I like to use every one of my ships kind of like a drone. So I want the ability to fly them while not flying in them, if I have to, or want to, in case I get too far away from them. The event controller was nice. I might actually set that back up. That was kind of cool. Good job. Now, the other thing is the ability to print it. There is not one on that one, so I just attached a merge block to the bottom. And ta-da. Moving on to what we're using now, which has gotten a little bit insane. Obviously, it's got a new paint job for the frost theme for Europa. I really could have kept it blue. I probably should have, because that still looks sick. But bigger redesign here. This is whenever I crashed that version and ended up remaking it into this. So now it's got 2 extra hydro tanks and a O2H2 gen, so you can get ice to be able to stay in the air longer, turning it into a more of a long-range miner. Still no cargo, though, so there's that. The other thing that I changed was I added a fueling connector on the top, so that in the off chance that this does go down, you still have the ability to fuel it from the top, rather than trying to connect to the back and the sides to get in there, because this thing is flat. It is on the ground, so I felt like it was going to be a little bit more of a challenge to get a connector onto either one of these positions. So I added it to the top because, hey, that works perfect right there. The only other change that I made was I added a reactor under this panel right here, just to get the battery in there. So, on to his redesign. I'm scrolling across the workshop last night. I scroll down and I see what looks like my ship. I was like, what the heck? Somebody remade my ship. That's cool. So I click on it and I'm like, dang, this looks awesome. Scroll down some more, and it was inspired by the one that I made for the series. I was like, no way. That happened. That's sick. So it's inspired by the upgrades that I suggested for the HM60. You can also download this version too, and it's made by the same exact creator, which is why it looks so similar and good. But here are the redesigns that the creator made, Boland. So instead of pushing the tanks out, they pushed them to the side. I wish I would have thought about that, because this thing is a long boy. It's not so bad. Like, it's not a bad thing that it's a long boy. But I like that they kept the compactness of it with the redesign that they made. And you're doing some insane work with these things. With the beam blocks and the thrusters. I did not know you could do that with these. And that's why I was talking about, like, it looks so incredible. I'm seriously debating on, like, redesigning this one to fit this one. But now I have that too. So, we'll talk about that one in a second. Everything else pretty much stayed the same, I think. There is no remote controller on that, which, again, I'm going to change that immediately if I do this. I like that... So, first off, let me rip this off real quick. Then you guys can get a little look on the inside. Alright. So, here's a reactor that's unfinished. Fantastic. And here is your O2H2 gen, a spacer, and then the merge block. Not merge block, the connector. So, to add that, the only thing that I could think of at the time was to put the O2 gen right there. And then I put the tanks and pulled them out, not realizing, like, hey, these drills have multiple connection ports. I totally could have just used them like that. But I pushed them out and then added the beam blocks to keep the style of aesthetic that it was going for, and here we are with this. My amalgamation creation. So instead, again, push the tanks to the side, add a little bit of detailing blocks with the cylinders, and then connectors on the back still. This one is actually still smaller than mine, more compact, and better looking, I think. It looks so good! But the big thing that I didn't talk about with mine is the fact that it has a merge block and a small connector built into the sides of the actual connector. One, so that you can print these easily, and two, so that it can carry those containers. Because this series is going to offer container playthrough at some point, which we'll get into that in a minute. So, real quick, again, great job on that design, Boland. I really love it. Moving on to my redesign of my ship. So, what I did for mine was somebody suggested that I add skis to the bottom. I actually kind of like that idea. So, I put the beam blocks under here, and I was trying to figure out how I wanted to do it and work it out. I think I got a good idea with that. You guys haven't seen this yet in the series, which it'll come. I know I've been a little bad with uploading it recently. It's my fault, I'm sorry. Work's going on. So, run the beam blocks to the side, or through the bottom, and then put mag plates on there so I have a place to land. But this is also, the beam blocks are also for the impacts, is what the commenter suggested. I did a little testing with it and I actually really liked that idea. So I did it and it works. The only other changes that I made to this version are I added parachute blocks inside of the beam blocks, because there's not really any space up here to add them. Same thing underneath. There's like no room to put parachutes on this thing other than those beam blocks. So you can't access them from the cockpit, but you can access them from the sides to get to be able to put the canvas in there. Now, on to my minor version. So, You haven't seen this yet, because I haven't released a video yet, but we did make this in the upcoming video. I don't have the welders on there yet, but I made it so that you can attach multiple things to it with the hinges on the sides. I tried to make this thing follow the same sort of design language as those ones. I think I did a good job, but, you know, I guess let me know. Or not. I don't really care. My playthrough. So, I like it. It looks cool. It looks very boxy. There is a bunch of lines and stuff that cut up the boxes, so... The problem that I had with this thing was I was still trying to do no inventory on it. Because, again, it's going to carry that cargo container as the inventory. No inventory on it, and then a place to put these hydro tanks. So this one actually does not have an O2 H2 generator in there. And I don't know of a place to put one and keep it relatively the same size as those ones. Because you have to use... You don't have to, but I wanted to. I wanted to use a big conveyor converter to go through this one and off to the hinges. That way we can weld up the larger stuff if we wanted to or needed to. Or even grind them down whenever we get to this one. So, that's the reason why the tanks are up top. And it's got this, like, little shell up here. You have a welding camera, you have a front camera. The welding camera's to see where you're welding, the front camera's to see where you're driving. Ta-da! Because this is remote control too. So, same thing on the bottom, you got your skids and your mag plates. You also got your thrusters on the bottom on all directions. That's pretty much where I put them all at. Oh, might be a bad design, but all the important components are down here. So, don't crash, I guess. Easy for me to say. I'm just kidding. The backside I really like, actually, because this thing can take quite a bit of a hit with the way that the shielding is with the beam blocks. Still the same design as that one, with the connectors and whatnot. You also have your rear camera. I don't know. I really like this thing. I think it looks incredible. So, again, you can actually drop the hinges, or will be able to drop the hinges and pick up other parts with, like, the grinders. Or make it a tugboat if you really wanted to. And I'm going to get rid of that wolf before it starts talking. Yeah, you can drop the hinges, pick up different parts with it. And those are all the ones that I have available. Because it's kind of a modular toolship. The next thing, again, remember this thing doesn't have an O2 gen on it. So it's going to run out of... Or, it doesn't have an O2 H2 gen on it, so it's going to run out of hydrogen eventually. It's not meant for, like that one, longer distances. Because I, again, couldn't fit it in there. So I made this thing. And it, serves the function of being able to refuel both of those. So that's why the fueling connector is on the top on both sides, or both designs of this. You got one there, and you got one right there. That was fun to figure out. That's all this thing is purpose is it's a manually controlled drone for you to fuel the stuff with. It's got 4 extra hydrogen tanks on there that aren't used by the drone. It's also got 2 O2 tanks on there, which those don't have any O2 on them at all. Yikes. I'll have to fix that. But you can connect in the back, and then you got your piston and your fueling connector in the front. I don't know, I thought it was a crazy idea for, like, working around the not putting the O2 gen in that thing. I like the way it turned out. It looks super cool. Alright, so it's got spinning lights on the side just so you can see that it's, like, cautioned. I don't know. Stay away from it. It's not a combat drone. Keep it out of combat. You got lights on your front so you can see what you're doing, and then lights on the back so you can see what you're doing. And, yeah, I need to turn on the thrusters, because that's not gonna work. There we go. Now I learned how to fly. Again, fueling drone. Can't flip over. No thrust on that side, so don't flip it. But you can do that to get it back, flipped back over. So, toolbar 1, you get the ability to, again, push out your arm and connect to fuel things. Just so that you don't inevitably smack into the ship that you're trying to fuel, or have that happen. So, that's essentially the idea that I was thinking of when I made this. I didn't want to get too close because of these conveyors on here, or any of the other sensitive stuff on this ship, like the tanks that are on the back. Now, granted, I know I just made a hammer with this thing, and I'm waiting. I haven't used this yet, real time, so I'm waiting to see if I'm gonna smack the tanks off. But this is the general idea of this. To be able to fuel it whenever this thing gets too far away from base or something, and I don't have a way to get it back. That's where this comes in. Can't wait to use it. It will come sometime. So, on to the portion that is fun. Not that the whole thing hasn't been fun for me. Hopefully it's been fun for you. If you're liking the video, give it a like. I know it's a little bit different than the series, but hey, here we are. So, you actually grab onto this thing. Alright, and lock. And we're good. So, again, with this thing being no cargo on the ship itself, it's absolutely perfect for this cargo container stuff that I've been working on, because now we can take these wherever we want and go mining and have them fill up. Super sick. It's not that much bigger than the ship itself, so I haven't tested it yet, but it should fit through the same mining holes. Hopefully. Because once you're full, it is a little bit difficult to get them off. In gravity, anyways, with this thing. Again, we're playing on Europa, so there's minimal gravity. As you can see, we're struggling. But now I can go into this container, and we've got all of our ice in here. Super sick. I thought it was a fun thing to do. It's also giving me a way to finish this modular container series on top of making another series for you guys. So I'm doing 2 at once. But that is pretty much it for my rant-ish, kind of. I don't know, it's interesting. I thought it was cool that the guy redesigned my ship after I redesigned his ship. So, it was awesome. I was super excited to see that. Happy to show you guys, and hopefully you guys are enjoying the series. This is all of the ships that I have so far for the series. I even included the base one that I made, the redesigned one that I made, the miner, and the drone. Again, you can switch your tools. This will be uploaded to the workshop when this video is uploaded. So if you want to check it out, feel free, you know. They're there for you guys. They're all set up. And when you remote into them, the toolbars are the same. I'll have all the stuff in the description of the Steam Workshop link. None of them have names. Feel free to name them how you want. But that's it for this video. I know I need to get back to making this series because I've been terrible at it. We got things coming, I'm sorry. Thanks, Lightning, for interrupting the outro. So, again, if you guys liked the video, leave a like, comment, consider subscribing. or hype the video. I greatly appreciate it. It helps the video out. I love you guys. I'll see you next time. Okay, thanks. Bye!